Hello there, and welcome to episode 188 of the FlameFlash.net podcast. And here we are again. Hi, bud.
Hello.
So how you feeling, pal?
Pretty good. I'm excited for the very long weekend that's coming up.
Yep, because you guys finally have your spring break coming up right around Easter, right?
Yep.
Yep. And it was pointed out to me that Orthodox Easter and traditional Easter don't always overlap, which is interesting, but
Hmm.
this time they do.
Hmm.
So that's pretty cool. Other than that, we've been taking advantage today of a nice relaxing day. We did some Stardew Valley earlier, which has been ages. Um, let's see. Cred, I am forgetting what I have nicknamed my grandson on the blog, but the last time we had a chance to play was back when he was about to be born.
Yeah.
That's the last time we played as a group. And he's 18 months old at this point. So it's been a while,
Yeah.
but progressed well. Um, your brother's Sword Agent's Steam Deck started running low on battery, and so that's what he was playing on. So we called it. And then Merce, who's been on the podcast before, he had to leave and go to work anyway. So it's like, okay, well, we have two dropping out. It's time to shift gears. And then we went over to Marvel Rivals.
Yep.
From there, it was a nicely satisfying match. Some matches. Um, Season 2 of Marvel Rivals just started officially,
It's awesome so far.
and we added Emma Frost. They added Emma Frost to it. So I have seen some articles that are upset there are too many blondes in Marvel Rivals. And there are just a lot of blondes in comic books. As long as the characters are drawn distinctly, as long as the characters look different enough, we're fine. Like the three blondes with kind of short hair or, quasi short hair. We have Dagger, we have Sue Storm, and we have Emma Frost now. And then the default magic skin is also blonde.
Yeah.
So we have four blondes. Oh no! Four of them.
Ah.
Every character plays different. Two of them are healers. So if you can't tell the healers apart, their healing style is still similar enough that, oh, the enemy team's going to nuke the healer.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like that's a problem. And then Emma Frost is a tank and out there on the front line.
With questionable proportions.
She has thick thighs and her torso looks squished. The character looks kind of weird to me.
Yeah, fair.
Like with leg length that long, the torso should have been taller as well, just to proportion her out properly, in my opinion. My opinion.
Fair.
The torso just looks squished. Like Acme, Anvil, Looney Tunes, Kerplop. And then she accordion back up, but most of her like body mass was pushed into her thighs or something. I don't know. That's just my take on Emma Frost in Marvel Rivals. Played her like one round, pretty cool character. Um, and then otherwise I was a healer, so you know that's me.
Yep.
You jumped around a bit on on the characters,
Yeah.
and then throughout the week we didn't really have much opportunity to play. But I don't have D&D tomorrow because we are
Sweet.
recording here on Saturday, April 12th. So should have some more opportunity to game tomorrow
And hopefully tonight.
and hopefully tonight. Yep. I'll be grilling burgers fairly shortly, probably after I process the podcast. It's such a beautiful day out. Why not get the burgers going, you know?
Yeah.
Num num num. So I went down the street and grabbed buns because Dollar General opened up fairly recently in comparison. It was in the winter, but
Yeah.
so that makes it nice and convenient to quickly grab a pack of buns. Um, so any other gaming thoughts for the most part, bud?
Um, just the fact that I was basically the only good DPS anytime I was DPS.
Yeah, we didn't have much luck with our Marvel Rivals games, but we were filling two rando slots, and those randos weren't strong. Like one was suffering from screen stutter the whole time and barely did anything, and then yeah, it was problematic.
Yeah. I should not have gotten 34 kills.
Yeah, exactly. That's a lot of kills in a match.
Yeah. 34 kills and 9 deaths, I think.
Yep. So quite a few. So otherwise, anything on your mind from the last week, like watching the news, TikToks, anything like that?
Just from what you brought up earlier today, I'm pretty sure.
The tariffs forcing laptop makers. Yeah. So you bought your new laptop over the summer.
Thank God, because that wasn't that long ago.
Exactly. And then I bought mine just a little bit before yours. They're the same model, just different cases.
Yeah.
They're performing fantastically, but they're Dells. And Trump's tariffs are forcing laptop makers Dell and Lenovo to stop shipping to the United States. So if you want a new laptop and you want a specific laptop or computer, you're going to have to look pretty closely at everything going on, or now's the time if you're in the computer market to go to a big box place like Best Buy or Walmart and buy a device that you can mod yourself if you have that expertise, because special ordering exactly what you want spec wise is not going to be an option. And that's scary right now. It's just how the tariffs are laid out right now. And it's scary.
Yeah.
Like, I just, I don't get it. Like Nintendo Switch 2, we were discussing that last week. Keela chimed in with some amusing comments that, amusingly sarcastic comments of the Penguins not producing the Switch 2. And the rumor is right now that Nintendo will eat a loss on the Switch 2 in the United States. So rather than, like we were talking last week, rather than risk increasing the price and killing the Switch 2 market in the United States, they're going to take a loss. Wow. But that also means they're probably not going to ship as many to the United States, and they're going to instead try to spread the Switch 2 around in like Europe and the rest of the world until the orange one pulls said orange out of where the sun doesn't shine and lets the economy grow again. But
Yeah.
speaking of, there's a 90-day pause now on most tariffs, except for the China. But while the tariffs were in place, he decided, let's tank the economy, let's tank the stock market. But then whisper to the side, hey, buddies, I'm about to do this pause. Go ahead and start buying. And oh, look, the stock market went up again. Like there are sound bites of him saying he's helping his friends.
Mm.
So, yikes.
Yeah.
That's insider trading to like the nth degree. It's incredible. Keela is right. Project 2025 was out there. We were warned. The bare minimum majority of the American public didn't listen.
Yeah.
Like you have to keep that in mind. The popular vote that voted for him was is within the margin of error in statistics.
Hmm.
So it's barely, barely a winning popular vote.
Nice.
Statistically speaking, it was a tie. It just was. I mean, then the um, Electoral College kicked in, and that's why it looks like a landslide and why they claim it's a landslide, but it wasn't a landslide at all. Statistically speaking, it was a tie. But yeah, we're we're very thankful that we already got our new computers because they'll easily last us through this nightmare.
Yeah.
That yeah, we're only 3 months in, 4 months now that we're um, approaching the 20th. So next week we'll be 4 months in. Oof. And Keela is right. Depending on how the amendment for a third term is written, Obama could step in. Now, they could be very, very careful and specific with how they write the term limit thing.
Hmm.
But again, the odds are it's never going to pass. It's not going to go through. Um, the House has passed something called the SAVE Act, which is just their fear mongering regarding voting. Doesn't really impact us at all. We're men. But women beware, if you move, if you relocate, you're going to have to go through, if this goes all the way to Trump and gets signed into law, you will have to have additional documentation to register to vote again, wherever you move to. Like, supposedly, it doesn't change how you're registered if you're already registered, but if you go and register in somewhere else and your birth certificate name doesn't match your ID name, you're barred from register from voting until you get another legal document allowing you to vote, like a passport.
And this is only for the women?
Women traditionally are the only ones that change their names after they get married.
Hmm.
So we're either going to see a cultural shift where that dies and stops, which it should in that case, because women deserve the right to vote just as much as men.
Yeah.
Or hopefully this doesn't go all the way to Trump's desk and it just never sees the light of day. But ladies, if you're going to be moving, start the process of getting your passport immediately after moving. So that way you can then register to vote if your name has changed. Gross. Completely gross. But thank you, Keela, for the comments. We really appreciate it. And yeah, otherwise, the tariffs are still going to be a nightmare on the economy. It's just, it's this sword hanging over our heads that will come down and slice at the stock market again. Because what I expect will happen is he'll let that 90 days expire. He'll go a week again and watch the stock market tank again. And then he'll put in another pause so that his friends can make more money on the stock market again. That's my assumption. Pattern recognition. You
Yeah.
know, every time he does something funky that makes the stock market crash, he does something shortly after to let it rise again. But you know, he's whispering to his friends first, hey, I'm about to do this thing. Buy now. Blue?
Yep.
Because he's slimy like that. A slimy orange. Yeah. But any other thoughts, bud?
Um, I can't remember when it was, but I saw a TikTok of this Christian fundamentalist group that decided to interrupt a pride parade.
Oh, how did that go?
Um, the fundamentalists were genuinely acting like psychopaths.
Hmm.
Like,
Doesn't really surprise me, but
what really confused me is that some of them even had their tongue out and were wiggling their head a lot.
so they were just attempting to make obscene, potentially obscene gestures at the Pride Parade or something.
Something like that.
Like it doesn't make any sense what they were doing, but yeah, that's like the closest I can come to thinking about it, maybe. Weird. Huh.
Yeah, I don't remember where or when. Wasn't that long ago, I don't think.
Okay.
Um, but like there were officers who had to step in and stood in front of the parade.
Oh, just to keep the two groups separate?
Mostly to keep the fundamentalists away because the Pride Parade was already just standing still.
So and they were the ones probably with the permit, and then we had the counter protesters of the fundamentalists. Would
Y-
that be correct?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. Wow.
And then I just looked at the comments, and then there were ugh, lots of fundamentalists who were cheering the other ones on. And one even said, "Thank you, God.
Mm.
God wouldn't want to do that, whether he was homophobic or not."
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, on that fun note, I'm just kind of out of words because that's uh any other thoughts, I guess?
Um, no, it just seems like the fundamentalists, ever since Trump's win, have decided to become more psychotic.
That's probably accurate, actually. They're emboldened by his win to be less Christian and more crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah. On that pleasant note, or unpleasant note, I should probably get the grill starting. Um, this has been episode 188. So it's pretty cool that we're approaching 200. We're a ways away, week wise, but
Yeah.
12 weeks away, pretty much.
Which episode did I join in again?
I'm not sure at this point, but 'cause we didn't restart the counter when I restarted the podcast. There's just a 9-year gap between when I first started,
Nice.
stopped, and then restarted because the RSS feed's still the same.
Mm,
So out on Apple Podcasts, if you were to go look, you can find the time gap still.
nice.
So everything's still set up the same way. We're just now also on some of the other services like Spotify and Amazon because they now exist. They didn't about a decade ago. And then we're on YouTube now too.
Wasn't it 150 something?
Sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you, Keela, for stopping by and with your comments. We appreciate it. If you want to join Keela in the comments, she posted on YouTube her comments, but you can also come out to the blog, flameflash.net. You can come out to the podcast blog, Flameflash Podcast at WordPress. And then you can write an email, podcast at flameflash.net. So you can reach us multiple ways. Um, I think tonight we hope to do some World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
And it was so satisfying to play some Stardew. It has been ages. I love that game. It's a favorite. It's
indeed.
it's a top favorite.
Yeah,
It just it's timeless.
it's in my top five, 100%.
Yeah, exactly. And that's something we should probably think on really is as we roll into summer pretty soon,
Hmm.
possibly have in the back of your head a top 5, top 10 games one should watch for when the Steam summer sale hits that just are strongly recommended. What would you recommend as your top 5, top 10? Keep it in the back of your mind. I'm not asking for it now. So,
One of them I do have in mind right now.
all right.
Helldivers 2.
Helldivers 2. See? There you go. Democracy!
Democracy!
So, with that note and a little more upbeat, we'll cut out here. So, this has been episode 188. Thank you for joining us.
Live with honor.
Indeed.